Hello, and welcome to the Flickering Torch and our weekly game of Knights Black Agents Blood Feud. Uh, it's a show where our players here are playing secret agents trying to uncover the dark vampiric conspiracies behind the underworld of Europe and, by extension, the rest of the world, I guess. Let's go around really quickly and introduce ourselves and our characters. We will start this week with Mr. Sean. Please, can you talk us through your character?
Yeah, I'm playing Mace Hunter. He is the comedian, the chap that will get you into places, and often the guy by pure bad luck in the wrong place with bullet wounds. That's who I'm playing.
Excellent.
Sorry, work's calling. I need to answer this. My apologies.
Well, I guess we'll go to Jordan. Please, Jordan, can you introduce your character?
Yes, hello, I'm Jordan. I'm playing Leo McEnroe, who is the sort of Sam Fisher-esque hand-to-hand fighter of the group. Yeah, quite good at getting into places a bit like Mace, but not in the same way. He will get in through locked doors and not past the burly guards.
Excellent. And then finally, well, not finally because we have to skip James, but finally for people who currently can, everyone's leaving. What is this?
They're all getting work.
Sorry, the door was open. Sorry.
Said it would be the penultimate session when there's only two of us left.
Addison, please, can you introduce yourself and your character?
Hey, it's Addison here from the Pod of Many Things. I'm still here somehow, and I'm playing Percival Ogden. Great with machines, not so good with people, as I accidentally fill them full of bullet holes. Sorry about that, Mace. I'm really hoping that you will not let the scary Danish man shoot me.
I like to play the Holy Father, not literally.
Our final player, unfortunately, has had to step out for a second, but that's James. He's playing Halbjorn, who's this kind of Norwegian, just sledgehammer of a man who solves all his problems with grenades. Which, in the spy world, not terribly useful, but if you need someone dead, he'll definitely do that for you.
The truth is, he pulls pins out of grenades and throws himself.
Interestingly enough, solving problems with grenades is probably going to be the basis for the character in his character in our next campaign, Ben.
That is true. Just a reminder, everyone, not next week or the week after, but the third week after that, in 3 weeks is what I'm saying. Our next series on this channel is started, which is run by Jordan. It's going to be a game of not Knights Black Agents. This is Knights Black Agents. Blades in the Dark. It's going to be a game of Blades in the Dark, where I think everyone currently on the screen and James, who isn't on the screen, is joining us. Is that right, everyone?
Yeah,
We're going to have 4 regular cast members this time.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it.
I'm sorry.
We're going to do this.
Yeah, Blades in the Dark is such a cool system, so I'm really excited to bring that to the channel. I guess we will have to start without James. I don't know how long he's going to be. But essentially, we left off last week. You had uncovered the location of Club Ambrose, which is going to be in Down Street Station, a disused London Underground station that was once used by Winston Churchill at the start of the war before the war rooms were built. And it's happening over the next night. So I guess our establishing shot is back at, is it Hyde Park? The your base is Percival.
Well, I thought it was an old arcade in Knightsbridge.
Sorry, yeah, not Hyde Park. An old arcade in Knightsbridge. We see one of those big double-decker red buses go across that have got this massive advert for this one-night-only play happening tonight called The Ochra Monarch, and that sort of goes by as we sort of zoom in. When we enter into our old abandoned arcade, we see all the sigils that we've seen before, like scrolling across Percival's terminal. And I guess you're all sort of in there planning your approach to Club Ambrose, so we'll pick up there.
Yeah, there's a waste paper bin full of bandages and blood-splattered pieces of stuff. That's the.
I got you, pal. You're fine.
Bentley will help.
It's okay. It's been patched. I'll be fine now. Thanks.
GM, I remember asking at the end of last session if I could use my skill in architecture to get any insight as to the station itself. I was wondering if we could maybe explore that, please.
So, essentially, this is like a really old subway station. It wasn't really used very much. It's got this sort of like red brick facade, but all of the tube station stuff is still down there, so you could theoretically get there via a train. You could also just blow the front off of it as well if you really needed to.
We're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off. What?
It's not been used for years. Sometimes they take tours down there, but it's mostly always just kind of abandoned. And last you heard, it was kind of falling to bits. So there's like, you've got images from your research of basically like the platform with some of the tiles falling off the ceiling. But it's structurally sound, but you probably wouldn't want to go in there with too many explosives unless you want the whole thing.
The reality is we need to get in there, don't we? That's what we need to do. Do we have an actual goal? What we're trying to achieve here? Do we have any? Is the plan? What is the plan? What's the play?
Is to attend the meeting of Club Ambrose, I believe,
and find out what's going on.
See what their agenda is.
Okay, then let's get down there. No time like the present.
What was the ETA on the meeting? What was the?
It's tonight, so you've got essentially 12 hours.
Right. We need to really
planning. How many invites how many people do our invites get in?
All of us.
One.
All four.
But
of us.
you've got 4 invites, so.
Right. Okay. I'm just wondering whether one of us needed to sort of do the tactical knock on the side entrance.
No, I think you've all definitely got one now because
Yeah.
that was what the last heist was for, to get one more around the location.
Ben, I'm going to secrete to bring in. I mean, it's going to be hard to hide anything, but I'm going to hide one item on myself. It's one of my cherries that I can do. I'm going to hide this. So this is a
on you.
So it's just a multi-tool with different things. Got picks and locks and pliers and screwdriver and all sorts of stuff.
Is that the holdout cherry where you can just hide one thing on you? Yeah, that's fine.
Correct. Yeah, it's only because they're going to search for everything else. They expect you probably to come with something, and obviously that's going to be removed. But I want to just have something small that's, and this would be plastic basically, is what it would be.
Yeah, so I imagine it's like plastic for most bits, and then any blades on it are like ceramic.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's fine. It won't be picked up by a metal detector.
Again, just so that you've got something in case you need to, maybe fiddle around with something or a lock or something unusual.
Yeah, the SOE have like 1 or 2 prototype 3D printed like ceramic guns. They're fairly bulky and they're only like 3 shot before basically the plastic will crack and it'll be useless.
Yeah.
You think you could probably sneak those in if you were really stealthy, but you don't know what kind of protection they've got inside Club Ambrose.
Yeah, I think getting guns in is the least of our worries, if we're honest, given what we've seen.
In terms of the database, can I because he said that vampires have my family, can I research them? Is there anything on the SOE about them?
On the actual SOE's database there isn't, but on the database you stole from Null Pointer, there's a few clues that your family is still in the country and still alive, and they're definitely being held somewhere big. You've heard some references to the farm, and you've heard some references to a place called the Vault, but other than that, nowhere is oh, they're here. It's there's references to them being moved around to several different places. They're all being moved around together, at least that, and you know that anytime they're moved, they go through a lot of security. They'll definitely be there with masked junkies or masked up soldiers, which is our fictional drug if you've missed the episodes.
In terms of these meetings at Club Ambrose, is there any mention on the data from Null Pointer of do crews rock up there? Would it be one person would rock up with their crew to make a statement there and join the table, or is it
it's
individuals?
So from what you can pick up, it's a mixture between the hottest club ever, the coolest club ever, and also like super really important underworld meetings, like massive trade deals get signed there. Basically, like they'll tell you like trade routes to sneak drugs or anything basically into countries. And then there's also like there's also a few like weird references to like ritualistic things that happen there. Like sometimes people will bring people there to be punished. Like gangs will bring someone there that they've decided is like a snitch, and then like something will happen there. It's almost like a place you take someone to get punished as well, maybe.
Master Hunter.
Yeah.
You don't by any chance have any underworld aliases, do you?
Oh yeah, I certainly do.
Maybe that's our in. Maybe you go in as one of those, and we act as your crew. I could be your, I don't know, surveyor. Your.
We always need a gangland boss in a time like this. We can put one on. There's no reason we cannot achieve that. Yeah, I can go into mode for that. That's no problem.
Excellent news. So, what is your alias for your ganglander boss?
Filiano Giuseppe, or as he's known, the Big Gun.
Filiano Giuseppe.
Giuseppe, the Big Gun.
The Big Gun.
And I've got the perfect big gun to my left.
So, what is he known? Is he like just like a mobster, or is he like a gun runner?
Ruthless, Rome-based. He comes from is Rome-based. He's got a crew, a very deep crew. That's partially true. I've just really hijacked his identity.
Maybe he was someone you like assassinated in an old job and then just sort of
probably something along those lines, an assumed identity. It's stuff that people could easily research, and I kind of look a little like him. It's enough to get by. I mean, there are rumours that he had surgery. It's all the classic stuff you would spread.
How much cover are you spending on him? Are you going to make it soon?
I think it's got to be a good amount, because this is going to be a place where, frankly, they're going to sniff you out quite easily. So, for cover is one of my specialities. I've got 12 in cover. I'm going to put, to guarantee success, I'm going to put full 6 in. Use half of it.
Excellent. Yeah. So this guy's you've got like documents, you've got like a social media
Passport.
profile. There's like family,
newspaper cuttings. I've even got a portfolio of some of the jobs that have been pulled by his crime syndicate. It's a brutal crime syndicate, well known for they are ruthless in their follow through. If somebody crosses his path, there's no he's not someone who takes that very easy. So
what we see is Mace like puts on the sort of scarf. And then what we see is like a mugshot being like taken from that image, and then it like flashes to like what looks like a Netflix documentary about the Rome mob, and it's like just like he's in like a lineup with a bunch of other people, and it's like describing this sort of horrific crime that happened, and he got away. The Big Gun got away, and no one really knows who the Big Gun is. In this Netflix documentary, but obviously if you're
let the Big Gun Filipino Giuseppe. You'll have to play.
So are we going to all go in as the what's the word?
Boss's henchmen.
Yeah, entourage.
Yeah, but you can be quite important people within that. There's quite a few. You can play any part you like here.
You don't necessarily have to go under Mace's cover identity. You could
play your own.
Under your own thing.
I think I would. I think Percy would go with Mace, because on his own, I don't think he'd be able to hack it. Like he'd probably act as like his I don't know, like his secretary or like his mover, the person who like makes sure that what he asks for gets done. And
perfect.
His assets are in the asset management. That's what I am. Like.
It would probably be
Casa Nostra. That's what. Is it Casa Nostra?
I'm gonna call you Earwig. In my Earwig. Earwig.
It would probably be suspicious for somebody this important to not roll with like a serious crew as well. So it makes sense for us all to go in together.
Absolutely.
Right, excellent. So, what's your actual plan? You're just going to go in and try and like get a meeting, or like?
We can't really plan for something we don't know. We know that we can get in, and we know that there's something big going down we believe, but that's really all we know. I think we just got to get in there, mingle, and then see what we find out, and then just keep each other in the loop.
No pointer shit. Like we've got all this like fucking hub of information. What was organised? Because he said that they were they had a representative.
So Null Pointer are supposed to have a meeting with someone they keep calling the Blood Witch.
But that's not like an open meeting. That's just them and this Blood Witch person.
Basically, the person you took the invitation from has a meeting.
Oh, it's not like a gangland meeting. It's literally just an appointment.
Yeah. So Base Star, which was his hacker name, has a meeting with the Blood Witch.
Did they charge you for stuffed crust?
Everything's gone wrong today.
That's excellent. Yeah, you should be using only Italian goods. None of this stuff crust. Get down here, wait, what's going on?
Alison, please tell your wife that is immortalised on the internet forever.
Stuffed crust. Stuffed crust.
So yeah, there is. So that's a good point because I'm about to. If this.
Sorry, what was the point?
There's no stuffed crust in my pizza, which I am genuinely angry about.
Absolutely, I shoot less,
but
stuffed crust.
We do. That's a good point about the null pointer thing. If they have an appointment, is this invitation going to register to him?
You can't really.
Will people?
So the invitation itself doesn't seem to have any like RFID or anything like that in, but it is every card you found is like distinct.
What were the four cards that we found? What were they?
I think you found a king and then some numbers.
Yeah, I'll take the king. I'll have to take the king card. I'm just going to.
I think the king is actually owned by someone. You came into the game with that.
That's mine.
Okay, right. Okay, sorry. You keep that then. That being the case.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I thought we got a 10.
You definitely got a 10.
Yeah.
Was it? Did we just get an 8 of scythes?
I think you got an 8 and a 6. We'll just retcon it to be a 10, an 8, and a 6.
Okay, 10, 8, 6. All right, I'll take the 8 and my earwig for 10 and 6.
I'll beat you to the 8.
That's ideal.
I'll beat you to the 8, no problem.
Oh, okay.
You can take the 10.
Okay, we'll take the 10.
I'll take the 6. It makes sense.
So the 6 we'll say was the 10 is the null pointer one. That's the one you found on that guy, and then the 8 and the 6 the ones you found on various people throughout your journey.
It's still going on about the stuff crust. You just can't. Damn those stuffed crusts.
The penultimate episode is just us talking about stuffed crust for 3 hours.
Screw Club Ambrose, this is the crime we must solve.
The underworld of Papa John.
Can I use disguise to can I spend points in disguise to help us digitally? Like, can I like?
Digitally, no. You would.
No, you want digital intrusion for that, don't you?
Yeah, but I don't want to like do too much of that.
You would more want forgery, I imagine.
Have I got forgery? I swear I had it, and where is it?
You want forgery to create like credentials and stuff.
I've got a point in forgery, but not a lot.
So you don't have to spend anything, Sean, because you've already like curated this identity. That's what your cover was for.
I have a point in forgery if we need it.
I rely on other people to do the work for me. I know we pay for it, but I know what I'm looking for. If that makes sense.
I've got preparedness. I can retroactively prepare something.
So that's in the middle of a mission. You can pick something up and go. I've got a gun.
Oh, I have got high society though, which I know that might come.
That's like schmoozing.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to come in useful, so I'm gonna be ready with that.
So you don't want to spend any points in forgery at this time?
No, I haven't got any, so I can't. But
all good.
I was going to say so Master Hunter, would you like me to direct people to you and take incoming like traffic, or would you like to walk ahead and give orders?
We will go in together. and we will smooch, and we will let it happen organically.
Did you just say smooch instead of schmooze? Because those
Wait
two
a second.
things mean very different things.
I was going to say stuffed crust, but I've had enough. Move it on.
This quickly got derailed.
It's going to take months to play this game out.
Excellent. So,
I knew it
would we like to go to Club Ambrose, or is there any more prep work we need to do before?
We need to get in there. We cannot prep for something we don't know anything about. We just
I want to prep a little bit. If I'm going to be a henchman, I'm going to want to go back to see if my arms dealer is nearby.
Oh, that's fair enough.
And get some polymer bodied weaponry. So, guns with a minimal amount of metal in them, ceramic blades, as mentioned. Body armor.
Yep, good idea.
Body armor, yeah, you can definitely get some. Do you want it to be obvious body armor, or do you want it to be not so obvious?
I want it to be able to stop everything. Well, nearly everything. It's only body armor.
So you want like a full metal jacket bomb suit, like.
No, you know what I mean.
Stopping everything ain't gonna happen.
Like a heavy vest, but something that I can put a shirt over still, even if it looks a bit strange.
That's right. So if you want it concealable, it's only going to be like a 1 in armor. Basically,
No, I never said it was concealed. I said it just had a shirt over it.
You can get. All right, I'll let you take a 2 in armor, but you're all like restricted.
I'm expecting it's like a weird and bulky kind of look about this shirt because there's a large tactical.
You can tell there's tactical, like the buttons on your shirt like peeled back, and you can see. You can even see like because like a shirt's over it, like you can even see like the molly straps on it, like
exactly
through the shirt. Like it's very obvious you're wearing it.
Yeah,
but if you want to wear it, that's fine.
Yeah. Yes, I will go in with a couple of guns. I'll be a stock pistol, a normal pistol. And there'll be some knives, the ceramic blades or brass blades, whichever one's easier. In
ceramics, yeah, you can pick up some ceramic blades.
In various hard to find bits of the body.
Do you have any in conceal? I believe is the right stat.
Yes, I have 4 in conceal.
Right. Okay. So, specifically, what are you hiding on you? Because you can't hide with 4 in conceal. You can't hide that much shit on you.
Oh, I know. So the gun is going to be in an obvious holster in the jacket. There's going to be another gun in a sock, and then right up at the top of inside thigh, ceramic blade in the belt on the inside of the belt. I think that'll do.
Right. So to conceal properly those blades, use all of your conceal.
Yeah.
The pistols are going to be fairly obvious because everyone's going to check for an ankle holster and a holster.
It's a thing. It's a thing. I'm a bodyguard. I need guns. It's fine.
That's fine. You can take that. You're like very obviously carrying gear. Like someone would be able to spot you like a mile away carrying gear.
It's fine, but I'll get a receipt when I go in, so it's all good.
Excellent.
It's got a cloakroom, right?
You don't know. You've not been. Finally, what is Leo doing?
So yeah, I've got a couple of points of conceal as well, and I've got on me just like one of them telescopic like police baton thingies.
Yeah, you can totally
I'll have like a ceramic throwing knife as well, which can go in like a sort of under like one of those sort of like chest holsters. Like,
have you got 3 in conceal?
I have 2. So what can I hide with that?
You can hide the telescopic baton, or you can hide 2 knives. But they're going to be super well hidden.
I'll go for 2 knives, and then I'll have the baton just in a pocket, not really like trying to hide it, but it's just
that's fine.
They can do with it what they want. The knives will be hidden though.
We are bodyguards for a reason. We have these things.
Yeah.
Right. Excellent.
Can I conceal something before we go?
What would you like to conceal?
I want to try and conceal a phone, like a smartphone. That's kind of like my tablet, which is kind of like my grimoire, like an SOE, like grimoire light or something.
Yeah, so you basically got like a, it's like have you seen iPhones when they're in those like construction cases?
Yeah.
It's like that. So it's like a thick kind of rubberized iPhone. It's got the yellow sigil on the back. And yeah, you can hide that on your person for a point and conceal.
Will that yellow sigil be very obvious
Yes.
or recognizable? Maybe
Yes.
you want to paint over that, perhaps, and put a normal.
Well,
colour.
that's what I was hoping it would also do. Like
You cannot continue. Like, it won't work as a grimoire if that sigil isn't on it.
Can it be covered?
Oh yeah, you did tell me this. No, we can't cover it.
Can it be the wrong color? Could it be?
I can.
It
I can,
specifically
like,
has to be that sigil in that color.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I can cover it with my hand, like, and
That's
stuff
fine.
like that. Like I can like on my grimoire, you can like fold the thing over, like the. But
the
for this
flap,
phone, it will have to be me like holding it.
It's got to be there. Oh wait, could you not put it on the inside of the case?
No, it's got to be on the outside because I've got to like place it where I want it to go. It's got to be able to face what I want it to see.
Okay, cool.
Magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you can conceal a less powerful version of your grimoire like on your thing. That's fine.
So one more time. So you've got the king of. Leo's got the king of what is it? Clubs, spades,
scepters, sides. I think it is.
What's that count as? Is that spades?
No, it's like a totally different thing.
I see.
It's not
Okay, right.
like the cards are all of this same suit, and you think they're part of some massive set, but you don't know what the exact game they're used for is.
Okay, just for convenience, then I'll use a ten of spades for the cards to represent out of here.
Okay.
That just not makes life easy. All right, great, thanks.
They're like tarot sized,
Yeah,
and they've got this like weird like matte black sort of backing to them. The whole things look like really antique and ornate. So Down Street Station has got this like beautiful sort of red brick front on it. And then all the windows seem to be boarded up, and it's got these like semicircular windows above all of the doors. And when you approach, it looks like a service like access door. It's made out of plywood, is like just slightly ajar, and you can see like a faint red glow from in there. But you can't hear anything at this point.
Most definitely be going in first.
Yeah.
What are the code names?
Well, I've got a cover identity, so
Filipino.
reel that off. Oops.
Giuseppe.
But I'd call you Mr. Giuseppe, wouldn't I?
Yeah. Your
I'm
earwig.
Earwig.
What's your cover identity? Sorry,
Halbjorn.
It's gonna be Silvano Tortorelli. Oh, and the other thing I should probably I'm bringing with us is the radio with the earpiece and the coil,
Yeah, I imagine you've all got those.
because that's what henchmen do.
Yeah, that's fine.
Silvano.
So when one Halbjorn, or I guess Silvano, opens the door, what seems to be there is... Have you ever seen the kill rooms in Dexter, where it's like plastic sheets? It's like black plastic sheets all around the entrance to this place. And then like what looks to be a super reinforced black door on the other end.
Trying to carry out Bob Boss here.
That's got like a bunch of like sliding things where it could open. And when you enter that first bit, the door behind you closes, and that's also got like a matte black sheeting on it almost.
Silvano, is this place safe?
Silvano's gone in first, right? You said you went in.
Yeah.
So the rest of you see, like the plywood door seems to lock, and it's closed behind him and locked. Do you want to try and interact with the guys on the outside before we deal with?
I was going to say, we've got the radio. I just look around. Is anything happening?
So on the radio, you remember we keep hearing these like sort of rhythmic beats.
Yes.
You're getting static rhythmic beats. So like it's the same kind of rhythmic beats that you keep hearing, but now it's like coming through as bursts of static. On the outside, very interesting. If you want to get out your little grimoire, you can check the door. are you spending any points in occult to do your little grimoire checks?
Yes, please.
So spend your 1 point in occult for now.
Yeah, I don't have to do checks with occult, do I? It's,
No, you're just spending points because this isn't a main clue, so you actually have to spend points. So, what is inside this is some kind of exclusion zone. So basically, like nothing can get out or in until that door is open or another door is open. It's this sort of ritualistic circle thing where as soon as something enters the ritualistic circle, it can't leave without being allowed to leave by something on the outside.
Stay here. Don't touch anything. Wait.
So we go in towards Halbjorn. He's in like complete darkness now with all the black sheeting until like a single ray of light comes through one of the slides of the door. So we see one of the slides open, and then like a little slide just above it opens, and a gun barrel is like very obviously in the littler hole. But the other hole is just slid open, and it's got like a thing to like a little tray.
I take out the card, place it suit side up, and slide it into the tray.
Yep. So you place it suit side up. The tray slides back through the door. We wait a second. It slides back, the playing card there, and then like a sort of tiny steak knife that looks like polished clean and has been put in, like next to the card.
Ooh. I shall take the... When you say steak knife, do you mean like the butcher square thing, or do you mean like a pointy sharp?
Like pointy and sharp.
Pointy sharp. I'm going to hazard a guess. It's an uneducated guess because I think I ran out of a gold ages ago. Yeah, I did. Take knife, take finger, prick finger, blood onto card. Knife
Once you
back
put
down.
the blood on the card, you feel sort of like almost like a sucking sensation from your finger, and you almost hear like a sizzle. But once you take your finger off, like there's no blood on the card. The tray is like brought back in. You don't see the card again. The door is open for you, and then there's like three sort of generic big guys, shaved heads, full suits, and they're stood near, like an airport security thing, like a scanner with like those like shitty plastic trays, and the guy just goes, "Welcome to the cloakroom. Deposit any weapons or equipment."
I'll do the keys, wallet, burner phone, gun, tray, through the thing.
You're gonna need to vest. No one else has got weapons in there. You're not gonna need it anyway. We can give you a receipt. John, go get the machine. Oh no! The screen. Everything has gone wrong this stream. We'll be back in a second once the stream overlay is fixed.
What happens when you don't have stuffed crust, man?
Exactly. You ruined it.
Stuffed crust.
It's ruined the session.
I can't. I've not got like a blank screen with us all on. That's yeah. So we just have to have a broken overlay for a second. Oh, for fuck's sake!
It had to happen.
I saw Jordan's deafened icon come on in the corner of his camera. I was like, his headphones have just died.
Hey viewers, if you're watching this is we're trying to wrap up with the penultimate session that will last 4 years.
I screwed myself. I said we're going to do 10 sessions, and obviously the 9th session is going to just be a clusterfuck.
He just posted his laptop has had a full crash, so he'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Okay,
Either way,
guys,
let's carry on with the door for a second.
The issue is the stream overlay is so broken.
This. Do you want to take a screenshot of that and post it to us so we can actually see what it looks like?
I mean, you can just go on Twitch and see it.
You know I don't have the bandwidth for that.
Let's. I've switched us to one that's got all of the names to be wrong.
That's the name of a great podcast, The Broken Bandwidth.
I've switched us to an overlay where we're all in little boxes, but all the names are wrong. Apart from Sean, me and Sean are fine. You two are wrong.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Who am I? Am I Jordan or am I?
You're Halbjorn and James is Leo. I should just have a spare one of these because this happens enough, but I just.
Does that mean I've got to talk in a dodgy Scottish accent now?
You have to.
You're Leo back.
Yeah.
I have to use my Norseman. I'll be like, very good, yes.
Grenade, yeah.
Grenade, yeah.
Chuck.
It's not a very good impersonation. Here, you need to practice a bit more.
Have you still got that big farm? The big farm, the one that's always busy. I would like it very much.
I sold the farm, you know, and it was doing well, so I made.
Don't worry, I figured out that I could really quickly create a knot thing.
Buy the farm by the end of this session, viewers.
By the end of this season, which would be 100 episodes, we could have. We could grow our own farm for fun during
the never-ending podcast.
Don't worry, I've got it. I've fixed it. What I've done is I've put not over Halbjorn, I've put not over Leo, and now it's fine. The stream overlay's fixed. So, anyway, yeah. So he basically asked you to take off your bulletproof vest.
I give him a sort of hesitant, kind of for the moment, reluctantly.
Here we are. We're back.
And we're back.
Can we hear you, Jordan?
Jordan?
No,
oh no, we can't hear him.
Yes. Tell him we can't hear him.
This is good. Hi, viewers. It's going well.
Oh, the worst comes to it. This is good for comedy value.
Any better?
There we go.
There it is.
It's episode 2 all over again. It's when you've only got 2 episodes, or you've got only 2 episodes left. The stream is just a disaster.
Sorry.
It's still fine. It's not your fault. Right. So,
You just can't look at this stuff.
I will.
Right. Yeah.
Unbutton, take the shirt and the vest off, and from one of the pockets of the vest, I will pull out another shirt that fits, that matches the rest of the suit.
Yeah. The guy basically types in one of those label makers, sticks a label on the thing, and then hands you a receipt, and then that all gets taken back, and then they're like, any other guns on you, because you just put the side one in, right?
Oh yeah, just the one. No, I'm gonna try and go through with a polymer gun and see if it goes. So.
Right, yeah. So you try and walk through the airport security scanner thing, yeah? You gonna make me a sense trouble roll.
Here we go.
Let me
The feed is down.
I'm gonna need a 4 on sense trouble if you make me a sense trouble.
We're chucking that in the show chat room.
You are chucking that in the show chat.
We have to go in together because Percival will fall apart if this is him on his own. We're fucked.
We're going in as a crew.
You get some real bad feelings about walking through that scanner with weapons on you.
So I do the I've forgotten my keys thing to put them in the airport scanner. Gun from leg into the little tray.
Anything else?
Bazooka.
I didn't take anything else. Maybe.
Ceramic knives concealed.
You
can try. They're well concealed.
Let's go for it. They're ceramic knives. This looks like a metal detector.
I will warn you, the sense trouble roll still in effect. You got some bad juju about hiding weapons.
Fair enough. Clank. Reach down, turn around and reach down the trousers and take the other one away from where it was hiding.
The guy looks at you, looks at them, looks at you. Yeah, I think you made the right choice there. I've seen some Pretty crazy things. And as you notice, there's like a drainage grate underneath the scanner.
I tell him I do security. Obviously this is in an Italian accent. I just can't do Italian accents and don't want to offend anybody too much. Well,
Yeah, that's.
I could, but
I mean, you could be a Scandinavian enforcer for this guy. It's fine.
yeah, with an Italian name. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
It's adopted,
Yeah,
son.
I had security for the boss. You know, I've never been before. Apparently he's been a couple of times, I think. So he's just said to come with. So I just standard security detail.
I'm just here on mop-up duty. That thing does the work.
Oh, very interesting. Is it a new model or something?
That's above my pay grade, buddy.
Oh, fair enough. I think I've got everything.
As you're about to step
Comical-
through, he
comical
puts his
pocket
hand
down.
on your shoulder and goes, "If you're just here as muscle, follow our advice and follow as we do. Don't ask too many questions. I heard shit gets weird though."
Oh, that's fair enough. I've seen plenty of weird stuff doing the security details over the years. I think I've got everything, and I feign patting pockets down for the last check, and I think I've got everything. I'll step through.
Yeah, you step through, and as you step through, you feel this like wave sort of flow over you. Any metal that was kind of on you, you feel like very briefly get like a little bit hotter, and then that like quickly fades. Like your actual knuckles on your hand, they get slightly hotter. And basically, like anywhere you've been taught to attack someone with, so if you like are doing like Muay Thai and stuff, like your elbows would have gone, or like your shins, like everything just gets like slightly hotter that you could conceivably use as a weapon. But if it's like actually attached to you, it's ultimately fine. Your trigger finger specifically gets hotter than a lot of your body as you sort of step through this thing. But all of that is fine. You just have a feeling like if you had anything that could only be used as a weapon, probably wouldn't have ended well.
Fair enough. I say to the gentleman, that is very strange. You must be using all microwaves. I felt all the metal get hot.
He looks at you and goes, "Yeah, microwaves sounds probably right."
Well, yeah, the microwaves do that. I hear. You know, they make metal get hot. Have you ever put a spoon in the microwave? It's not pretty.
He like nods at you, and then he like gestures like over to the plug socket, and you notice that this thing isn't plugged in.
It's
I know
battery
as soon as
powered.
he said.
Amazing. It's new technology. It's all battery powered. Very shiny.
So what happens is your stuff gets put through the metal detector. He'll give you your wallet and your phone back, but
Oh,
he
it's a
puts
wallet-
like a
wallet,
black
keys,
sticker,
phone.
over your cameras. Hands you that, and then your gun. They basically, I imagine like your little ankle holster thing. Was a revolver, right? Because they're always revolvers.
Sorry. Say again.
Your little ankle holster gun, I'm imagining, is a revolver because that's like the classic ankle holster.
Oh,
They
yeah.
just take all the bullets out, put the cylinder back in, and hand it to you.
That is a very kind of you. I thought that was what the receipt was for.
No,
Just
we're
not holding on to this.
gonna take the bulletproof vest, but we know your type. You'll feel a little bit more at home with an ankle holster. And without bullets, you ain't really gonna do that much, especially against some of the cats in there.
Oh, okay. Thank you. As long as I can have everything back.
No, just the keys, wallet, phone, and we'll let you have that as a treat.
When I leave.
Oh,
put that
yeah.
information aside
That's
now,
your
you know,
receipt. Keep hold of
your
that.
receipt. Excellent.
Don't let the QR code get smudged.
Right, got you. Thank you.
Because if I have to spend another hour getting someone an assault rifle back, the paperwork's not in it for me.
Fair enough. I can understand that.
Anyway, through the door.
I carry on through the door, gun in the holster.
So
And,
your character goes straight into Club Ambrose, but we're gonna as the show,
I
you open the door and then it just cuts to the guys outside, and then the door like
I was
unlocks
going to say
again.
I would send them a text, but yeah, either way.
Yeah. So as you enter, we basically get another shot of the door, and then like it goes slightly ajar again.
I open it fully. I try and open it fully.
Yeah,
It
swings open. You see the same like black kill room essentially.
We need we need to go in there together, boss. Like I'm trying really hard. Like you see him like Percy's trying really hard to like
We're gonna go in now. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Like
so as you both step in, right? Together.
and Leo.
And Leo.
So all three of you step in. The door behind you doesn't close. The slots don't open.
I guess we have to go in one at a time. I go next.
So he shoos you out. As soon as Mace is sort of alone, the door magnetically locks again, slides open the gun port and the tray.
I put the card in. Card. Wrong one. We'll find the card. Card, the 10.
Yeah.
Like that.
Put the 10 goes in.
Yep.
Out comes a beautifully polished steak knife. Looks entirely new blade, totally polished, factory finished, next to your card.
I'm not carrying any stuffed crust with me, but I guess you want this. I'd put a bit of blood under the thumb, place it onto the card.
Yeah, you feel the same sort of sucking sensation. We hear like a sizzle. The card, again, doesn't look like it's got any visible blood on it, and it slides back in.
Wait, very patiently, not really paying much attention to the process, like I've done it before. I've no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah, so
I know, yeah, I've been it before.
Tray slides in, door opens, and then you see, the three bodyguards, all shaven heads, all big suits, next to what looks like an airport scanner.
I just walk past it, just start walking past.
So, have you got keys? Did you take any weapons with you?
No, I've only got one item concealed on my person, and that's just a tool.
Just a tool.
I've got a feeling they'll probably want me to declare it. They may let me keep it.
The tool. How? So it's a full multi-tool. So it's got like pliers. It's got all of that stuff on it.
Most important thing it has is this for punto, a crappy Italian car. It's the best locking mechanism in the world.
So how many knives is it? Like how many knives have it got on it? Has it just got
one crappy knife you would have to take 8 years to kill a man with?
Right, so you can walk through there.
By the time you have pulled this knife out of position and hoping that you'll get your finger in the right place. Hold on 1 minute. Well, I attempt. Find the blade. The wrong blade. Hold on 1 minute. Is it come? The blade is here. Wait, please don't attack. We will find the blade.
Like the French people from Monty Python.
The French are going. This is the size of the blade.
Right, yeah, so that's not a device for combat. So you walk through and you feel wherever you've concealed that get quite warm, as well as your trigger finger, and weirdly for you, your mouth gets quite hot.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
But they let you go through without putting anything in the actual physical bin.
I was not expecting any trouble.
And they wave you straight through without you having to put anything.
Fantastic. Thank you. And I'll walk through.
Yeah. Again, you're in Club Ambrose, but for the purposes of the show, we cut back to these two outside.
Gonna grab a drink.
Everyone's off this session, jeez.
Parzival, what have you got on you? Or whatever I'm calling you Parzival, but for the sake of the game, I'll say I am calling you by your cover identity, but I'll call you Parzival for ease of understanding.
Yeah. Just my phone, really.
You got nothing else?
My headphone. That's about it. Like, I was gonna go in there pretending I was on a call.
You'll be fine, son. Go on. I'll join you in a moment.
All right. So is the door opened?
Yeah, the door is again just slightly ajar. It's like a magnetic lock, basically. So it opens slightly every time it's sort of unlocked, but it doesn't swing open.
So I walk in pretending I'm like on the phone on my earpiece, like I'm just following Mr. Giuseppe now.
As soon as you get in there, the door closes behind you, and then you hear the same like rhythmic thing in your earpiece because you're actively listening. And nothing else can be heard.
I assume I know what that is.
Yes, so it's clearly some part of the ritualistic like circuitry going on.
Yeah.
Like you have a very clear understanding that doing certain patterns with certain rhythms in a certain way with certain intent causes magic to happen essentially. So this is some kind of a cult ritual.
He's gonna think I hung up on him.
The little slide thing opens with the gun port. Like a gun is actively aiming at Percival now.
Hey, my boss came through. He told me to show you this. I've never been here before.
You
First
hear like
time.
the cocking of a gun.
I give him the. I've put the card on the tray. I'm like, sorry, dude. Like,
Tray goes in, and then out again comes this like beautifully polished steak knife. And the
without
card.
even thinking, like I'm like, oh, I know exactly what they were. Like,
Yeah, the way you've seen this before is someone like slices their hand and then like drips the blood on like that. So I guess because of your training, you think that that's the whole thing you've got to do.
Yeah.
So you drip.
Slicing your hand.
Yeah, I sliced my hand open. Like,
And you hold it above the card, so you don't get the weird sucking feeling. You just we basically see a blood drop fall onto it and sizzle, and like get fully absorbed into the card. And as we see this, all of the sides from the card, so you've got the 6 of sides, all the 6 sides briefly go like a deep red, and then go back to their original yellow color, almost as if the card itself is drinking your life essence. And it gets slid back in. Door opens. You go to the same security room. Guy with a tray. Weird airport security machine. And you quickly see that all the markings around it, because you've got point in the cult, like this is very clearly a ritual circle disguised as an airport security thing instead of
Mr. Giuseppe came through here a minute ago. Can you do something about this? And I like show them like my bleeding hand, like anybody, like any help, anyone, anybody.
The guy like looks at you and then he's like, you know, a drop of fucking hell.
First time here, dude. Sorry. Like I was told by Mr. Giuseppe to give blood. This is what we do in the mother country, you know.
Oh my. I mean, the rest of your lads.
I'm fine.
It's fine. Can you? And he like goes to the other side of the machine, pulls out a clipboard and a pen, and he's got like bandages in one hand, and he just like hands you the clipboard. He's like, "You're gonna need to sign." This is a accident
while he's going
form.
to get the clipboard, I use like the touch screen on my grimoire to like copy down the circles on the sigils on the thing while he's like doing that.
Yeah. So you know some of them. This is basically like a ritual of it as the ritual of truth. Like 2 people can stand in the circle, and if they've got any sort of weapons on them, these weapons will like essentially burn with the fires of hell, is how it was written in the text you've read. So essentially anything that is a weapon or sort of like inherently like super powerful magic is just gonna basically explode.
I nervously look at my grimoire. Is there a way for to protect that from this? Like,
so just looking around really quickly, you still see the steak knife there. If you were to just really quickly grab that and break the yellow sigil, technically won't work anymore, so probably not a weapon anymore.
Is there not any? No, but I mean, I'm going to put that in the thing. But is there a way to like pretend, like get it to like cloak itself? Is there a way for me to get this to hide itself? Surely there's a way for them to defend it against other magical intrusion. Otherwise, it's completely useless.
So, yeah, if you spend a point in a cult, I'll let you figure a way out to do that. But you're going to have to roll for it, and if you get under the roll, like it's going to cause something to happen. Maybe these guys won't get it because they're not magical, Like, they are just clearly, like, hired help, but, like, if someone knows what to look for, they'll know something's gone wrong.
So, just the 1 point?
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you can roll me a d6 plus 1, and try and get over a 4 to try and fully cloak it, you're going to be able to get it through here, but fully cloaking it is a different story.
So, I'll be able to, like, get it through here, but if somebody was to, like, look at it and know what they're looking for, this is more totally hiding it and hiding it from people who don't know.
Yeah, so you're spending the point now. You will get it past these guys, they won't know what's happened. But if someone later comes to investigate, they'll know.
So whilst I put this all in and put the earpiece in, yes, I go. Do you want me to sign this in blood too? Like you've already got. Like,
no, and he like fishes out like a bic, and he like pops the lid off like the bic, and he's like, ball point will do. I don't really know about the blood thing. I've just got to put the cards in the box.
I sign it as Earwig, like because I don't have like a real cover name for him, so I'm just like Earwig, and then sign it. I'm like, there you go, dude. Like,
he bandages up your hand, and he's like, I really don't know why the whole hand is a lot.
It's well, the way we do things. We're Italian. We have passion. Like,
I mean, your boss. Never mind. Go on through the detector.
I go through the detector. I'm guessing my fingers.
You've basically like written the opposite sigils on your device, so it's like you're putting like an end to the. You're basically cutting a donut out of it with your phone, so you're able to pass on through. You go into Club Ambrose, and then finally, you've got the King of Scepters, right?
I do.
Leo? Excellent. Go ahead.
So yeah, I'm going to go into the room, the same as the other guys.
Yep. So you go into the room. Doors closed behind you, and then obviously gun port slides open. Little tray slides open.
I just look through the gun port and just give a thumbs up, and then I slide my card into the tray.
So, what slides out instead of a steak knife this time? You've put in the king of sides. What slides out is like a black vial. So it's like a medical test tube, but it's all been blacked out with a little thing. And that's just stood like where the steak knives were for the other guys.
What, do you want me to piss in it?
It's clearly already got something. Like when you pick it up, like you can feel like there is some kind of thick liquid in it.
Oh, he's got to fucking drink it.
I just mime that to the gun port without taking the lid off.
The door doesn't open. If you're just miming, it won't.
No, but for confirmation purposes.
Yeah, I guess like the gun doesn't rack, so you don't think anything's wrong. Like no one's preparing to shoot you.
Yeah.
Take the lid off. Why am I looking at my sheet? I have fucking nothing that's going to help me in this situation. Okay, then. Actually, no, I lie. There might be something. Anything that chemistry will give me here.
Down the hatch,
Chemistry or pharmacy.
Choke.
I mean, you don't really need anything in it.
No,
when you open it,
in
it's very like an irony scent hits your nose. The liquid inside is very obviously a claret color. It's thick. It's blood. I don't know how to explain blood any more than those.
Probably Earwigs.
No, I know what you're talking about. Oh yeah.
Guava beans and a nice Chianti.
It's blood, and you imagine human.
It's what you do when you have stuffed crust, Peter.
Did not take that king.
Could
Maybe
you
I
imagine if
should've
Percy had
just
taken the king?
Yeah.
You expect me to drink this?
Honestly, I would have preferred that if you'd made me piss in it, and I'll drink it.
You drinking it? Excellent
hell yeah.
news. Have you got any points in medic?
I have several.
Would you like to give me a roll in medic? I'm going to need a 6.
Ooh,
You've hit an
okay,
exciting point in your life. Your body may experience some changes.
then. Love it. Cool. I'm going to
Oh,
put
is he going to turn
3.
into a vampire? Is this?
I'm going to put 3 from medic into this roll.
May experience changes, maybe not. Come on, think positive.
Hey, yeah. So what you feel with your points in medic, what we all get to see, basically, like, from the viewpoint of the camera, is Leo takes this, he swings it down. We wait like a few beats, and then we start hearing like a faint ringing, and then the ringing gets louder, and all the sort of other noise sort of drains from the venue, and we just hear ringing, and then we hear like a really fast heartbeat. Leo knows he's going into cardiac arrest. He doesn't know why he's going into cardiac arrest, but he's definitely going into cardiac arrest. We see him sort of stumble back slightly and grab at some of the cellophane on the wall.
If I had been there now, I could have performed open heart bypass surgery.
We
But
could
I'm
have
not.
stuffed his crust, boss.
As he starts to sort of collapse on the floor, we basically like stop hearing the heartbeat for a second.
Oh.
Leo now is like fully aware, like he's had a heart attack.
Yeah, but
We
he's
wait a
still
few
alive.
more beats,
Well, kind of.
and then instead of the same heartbeat, we hear like a slower, bassier thump, and it's very slow.
Oh shit!
Leo sort of looks at his veins; they're glowing slightly golden, which fades.
Taking a bunch of masks. Fuck.
He manages to stand himself up.
Yeah, but what a cover though.
The
What a
door
cover.
opens, and the 3 guys aren't in the room. The only thing that's in the room is basically like an IV. The machine's still there, but like no one's there to attend it. An IV, and what looks like a super ornate ritualistic dagger. That's got like a bunch of Cyrillic characters, like Russian characters, around it.
Whew.
Leo, you're alive,
Kind of.
but you definitely just had a heart attack and then were fine straight afterwards, so you're not sure exactly what's happened to you.
Aye, you walk it off with these things. It happens, you walk it off.
Do you lose any sanity points for that?
Yeah, how
got
does having a heart
sanity
attack
on.
affect my stability?
We don't have sanity on this season.
That's for another time.
Check your teeth.
I will explain after the game too, Leo, what kind of changes he starts seeing in his body. But for now, you're fine. You think you've just had a heart attack, but you aren't sure because you shouldn't be able to walk it off.
Gonna be a damn vampire now, aren't you?
Can I pocket the now empty vial?
Yeah, you can pocket that. That's fine.
Cool.
Are you
Take the
taking the dagger and the blood bag essentially?
How compelling do they look to me?
I mean, the dagger's really cool. The blood bag is oddly compelling now.
Was it a full blood bag or an empty blood bag, did you say?
Full.
Oh no.
Oh, I'm so glad I did not take that king.
I'm glad it's worked this way.
Go on then, Ben. I'll humour you. I open up my jacket where I've got this little pouch with the 2 ceramic knives in it,
Yeah.
and let's say that it's also got like a zip at the front.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll
Picking
take the
it
blood
up,
bag.
it seems kind of smells real good. You're looking at it, you're like, never tried human blood before. Oh, negative. Negative isn't the worst thing that you could ever put in your body, is what you think.
I'll hold
Pretty
it up
safe.
to the light.
You hold it up to the light, and
Put a bend it
almost
back
like
and forth.
all what we see is like almost all of the saturation from the room sort of seeps out. Apart from the contrast on the red just gets deeper and redder as you're sort of staring at it. Your bassy thumping heart starts to thump a little faster.
I'm going to take it and put it in the pouch that I've just opened with the dagger.
Excellent, that's
Well,
fine.
I'm going to keep. I'm
collar
going to
sort of seeps back into the
very slowly closing the zip, and then just with my hand there for a good minute or so, just breathing deeply. I'm going to close up my jacket again.
Right, so you then, so what we see in sort of camera is this happens. We still hear in the background the bassy, new thudding heartbeat, and as you open the door to Club Ambrose, like what we hear as an audience is that bassy thumping heartbeat starts to combine with whatever EDM music there is until you open the door. There's just like flashes of color. There's like swathes of people, and there's just like an EDM like rave going on in basically just the tube station. There's a bunch of people sat around smoking cigars. Your crew are being like waited on at the minute, like a waiter's coming up and getting their orders and stuff. Everyone looks real good to you right now, Leo. You're feeling good. You're like, oh, everyone in here seems really lovely. Everything's real lovely.
Tasty.
You see sort of, I guess the player characters of like watching the door, we see kind of like a shell-shocked Leo sort of stumble out of there for a second before he quickly shakes it off with his trainer.
This is the expression you see.
Yeah, that's nothing we haven't seen before. It's fine.
Hey, buddy, what took you so long? Are you okay?
Damn
No,
foreigners.
Did you have to bandage your hand up too?
I look both my hands.
Hey, at least you've still got one hand. Used to see him. Huh. Earwig.
I'll do that very sort of obviously.
No, seriously, dude,
And
you
you can clearly see there's no marks on my hands.
He's acting a little stranger than normal, which is not saying much.
Let's mingle.
Yeah, so the mix in here is sort of weird. So you do notice like a lot of elites of like business. You notice like a Lord Timothy Philby that's got quite a high status in the House of Lords right now. He's like in all the papers.
Fuck. I hide from him. Like, I'm like, shit, he knows me. Oh no.
I'm sure that's a name I've seen but failed to write down.
What we're trying to do is kind of study, just look around for the bits that aren't obvious, just see who's observing who, what's going on, Ben.
So like it seems to just be like there's almost like two different groups of people. There's people on the main dance floor that all look like young.
Yeah, not
who are just kind of going for it.
Yeah.
Like this is like a sick rave for them. Like, and then there's like sort of people all on the outskirts that look these sort of like business types that are going into these like plexiglass. So they've got like VIP areas that have got like big plexiglass doors that they can close, and you can see it like very obviously like speaking like business.
I would be Mr. Giuseppe's shadow in this instance.
Let's take a wander to some of the more refined business areas. Have a little look around.
Mr. Giuseppe, just
Yes,
there are some people who might recognize me, so I will try and blend into the background. And you start hearing me like
that business with the choir boys who will always come back and haunt you.
You're going to blend in like a fart in a lift.
How long does it take to start working when I start like with onto the back of the yellow like sigil?
So what are you specifically trying to get out of that?
I'm trying to get it so like nobody can like, you know how you said that they can't.
Oh, you want to do
look
like
at
the
me?
clochard rhythms sort of thing.
Yeah,
so this is like an ancient SOE technique. You're basically like walking in a very specific way. You can kind of play it off like you're dancing, but your footsteps are following a certain rhythm. And if someone watched you for long enough, they realize that you're not really dancing to the music. So either A, you're a terrible dancer, or you've got sort of
issues.
Have you, please, boss? Have you ever watched Pellets like try and rave? They miss everything perfectly.
And by I mean, if anyone watched you carefully, if they could keep their eyes on you for longer than a few seconds before it slid off like ice, like if someone looks at you, they very quickly like look away. And
pretty much what
and they're
I'm
not
doing,
even
yeah.
like consciously aware that that's what they're doing, but like that is how this works. Like no one was really properly looking for you before, and now no one can sort of notice you're there. You're like the grey man.
What did they put a thing over my phone? Did they put
They put something over your camera, but not over the.
But can I
something like
remove the thing that's over my camera?
You can, yeah, but you have a feeling that like they'll check that
Oh
like,
yeah.
as you're leaving. Because it's kind of like, so some clubs do this where you'll have your camera taped over, and then as you're leaving, they'll check if the like it's still there, and it's like a tamper-proof seal. It's
One of the
basically to
little voice
stop you
stickers.
taking photos inside. If they find out that you've not got that thing on, then you're in some deep shit.
Yeah. But yeah, whilst you're going over to like the business people who I might know, I'm kind of like moving a bit. I'm moving mad, like being proper booky.
No one's like hitting you, so like it's like people know you're there for the purpose of avoiding you, but they can't. Like no one could like sit there
you've
and
got
watch.
this flow around you kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Just see who's there, who's striking. How are people striking up conversations in business? How's that playing out? Just
You've
people
got
going
lip
up with-
reading.
I do.
Good question.
I took lip reading.
I don't.
So
I have
if
lip reading in a shed of languages.
yeah, if you ask Halbjorn, will be able to like say, oh, these guys are talking about trafficking drugs. This guy over here is this Lord Timothy Philby guy is talking about shipping stuff in using Vont, which is the shipping company that you stole that big shipping thing from.
I know I read the name somewhere.
There's like one or two, like weirdly, there's like archaeologists in here talking, like trying to fulfill shipping orders for things. They all seem like ancient artifacts that are like vaguely Russian Siberian-ish. You hear a bunch of stuff about yellow artifacts. Like that's what you keep hearing, like yellow something, yellow that. As you're walking through the club, you notice that there's like massive TV screens that are just constantly playing like the news or something, but they're flicking through like news channels like every so often.
Okay.
And
The
everyone's-
yellow references, is that a reference that is translating to English as yellow, or is that a reference that is definitely translating as yellow, and it would mean yellow, the color in the native language?
Yeah, yellow is the theme. Like they're saying like different words essentially for yellow. Like every archaeologist is saying
it's
that.
the- I appreciate the
information. It's not something similar, is what I'm trying to get at. It was mistranslated.
No, it's
by
yellow.
Yeah. Cool.
And Philby's talking about a vault with somebody, is he? He says.
No, he's talking to Von Import and Export. He's also talking about yellow artifacts, but like not everyone is. Like a bunch of
he's
people are
the
talking
chap-
about general underworld things, but
I
that's
think
the thing that
it's
sticks out as
him.
weird.
It's him I want to focus in on. When the opportunity is there to go over and talk to him, I'm going to go over.
I'll forewarn you when they're like wrapping
Yeah.
up business and what
Yeah.
have you. I'm thinking
But I'll
about
wait. I'll wait
Vont
for it
and
to clear
stealing.
up.
Think about Vont and stealing stuff. I don't think I ever actually bothered reading that pamphlet I nicked.
And his name's Lord Philby, is it?
Timothy Philby, yes.
Timothy Philby. He's a member of the House of Lords. I know that one.
Timothy Philby.
I will when the Vont guys, I assume, leave the booth. I shall give it a few seconds and knock on the door.
Him and my grandfather didn't get on very
He's
well.
sort
That's
of-
why I'm doing this weird rhythmic dance.
he gestures for you to come in. He's drinking like an old fashioned with like a big circular ice cube in it. Oh, come on in. Always happy to do business.
I was gonna say I'd go in first and say Mr. Giuseppe would like to talk to you. He has a business proposition, I believe.
He like fishes out like a little 2016 calendar, flips through it. Yeah, I can see him now. My next meeting's on for a while, but bring them out.
Excellent. I turn around. I make the signal, and you appear from the crowd and join us.
Yeah,
in the
I wander over, I take my jacket off, I sit down. Glasses now go up rather than down.
Excellent.
Lord,
So you have something to sell, or are you trying to buy an election result?
No, Lord Philby. I believe my associates tell me you're interested in, shall we say, yellow goods.
Oh, so you do have something to sell. Excellent.
I'm from Rome. Everything's for sale.
Well, Mr. What was it again? Giuseppe?
Giuseppe. Filipino Giuseppe.
Right, well.
I've
what-
heard of you. Your reputation precedes you, my friend.
Ah, well, thank you very much. I try to keep my name out of the press, unless it's
Most
politics.
of my friends here like to speak very highly of you. So I thought I'd make myself known, and maybe we can do some business. You're interested in yellow goods.
Well, it depends exactly what you've got. He fishes out like another little booklet. This one's sort of like a pale, almost like faux leather thing. And he gets out a fountain pen, and he flicks through very quickly, and he's like, "What exactly have you got?"
You heard of the Cathars?
You see him like flick to the back, and he's like looking down the index, and he's like, "I don't have that on the list, unfortunately."
I didn't think you would, but the Cathars is a well-known story, a tale, if you will, about them escaping with a small treasure from the last of their bastion from 1422. Well, I happen to have that yellow good. I think you'll find it very, very useful indeed. It's very, very powerful. In the wrong hands, it'd be a very bad thing, but I think in your hands it'd be ideal.
Well, as you know, the official line is these are just trinkets.
Of course. Shall we
Yes.
say, artifacts of the Christ?
Unfortunately, if it's not on the list, I can't authorize the buy. Have you got any more details? A picture, perhaps I can send it up the chain.
For the right person, yes, Mister. I've never dealt with you before. I have to be sure before I release any information. So it's kind of fact finder. I've heard good things. Let's see where this goes. You have contacts. I've got contacts. Perhaps we can arrange a further meet.
He looks at you for a second, then he looks around, and he's like, "Again, if it's not on the list, I've got to send it higher up the chain. I can only buy what's on the list."
That's perfectly fine. I deal in billions. I'm not interested in millions.
Again, the official line on these is they don't do any. Give me a second. I'll make a call.
If you would.
He goes over to the end of the booth where there's like a little red sort of old school telephone.
Just ask you, Mr. Philby, Lord Philby. Sorry, we want to make sure I get the title right. I don't want to waste your time, and I hope you won't waste mine. If your parties aren't interested, just let me know, and I'll speak to some of the others here.
I'm the only buyer in this club. Give me a second. I'll.
That's not
I'll
quite
talk to
true,
this.
Mr. Philby.
He goes. And he puts the phone down. He's like, "Who's the other buyer?"
You're looking at him.
You see, he picks up the phone, and then he starts dialing a number,
I just stare at him.
and then he puts the phone up to. Do you speak Russian?
Yeah.
Excellent. You sent another buyer? Oh, you can't hear what's on the other end. No, he doesn't look GRU. Doesn't look Russian. Rome? Sorry, what's your name again?
Filipino Giuseppe. You'll know me if you do any research.
Filipino Giuseppe.
The big gun. The tough crust.
He looks at you and he's like, "Big gun stuffed crust? That one of yours?" Okay, no, send Dominic down then. He says he's a buyer, but if he's not one of yours, then he's one of theirs. How do you get an invitation? Okay, yeah, I'll pretend nothing's wrong. Okay, right. Oh, great news, great news. He looks at the great news.
I
Puts
say,
the
yeah,
phone
it
down.
is. I speak fluent Russian. It's great news for both of us. I hope that we can come to an accord because,
He says, "Oh, you speak."
listen,
Well, Mr. Giuseppe, is it? It
I
seems.
come out with just star.
He goes, "Well, Mr. Giuseppe, it seems as if you've sort of walked into the Viper's den here."
that's okay. No problem at all. We have a saying in Rome, you have to break bread with the enemy to make sure that each of us gets a piece of the pie.
How long have you been with the cult?
For me, it's a fairly recent experience. Last couple of years. But
Interesting.
transforming.
I'm sure the Blood Witch will want to speak with you. You notice, like, 3 very oddly dressed men have sort of stood next to the plexiglass now.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm trying to play it as cool as I can. Just, we don't know what we're looking for, but we're kind of finding things out, so it's all good.
They're wearing like sort of like a ballistic faceplate.
Nice.
With like fully blacked out glasses. They're like wearing suits apart from that. But they've got these ballistic faceplate and like no skin sort of covered. And basically like from you guys won't be aware of this, but basically like the camera eye view of the actual show, we're getting the same sort of musical stings as when those mask junkies showed up. But these guys seem sort of less ravaged and more
Hardcore.
the other 2 can see this happening, and Leo now notices from everyone else you've been getting they seem like sort of more saturated color wise, but as you look at these guys, like there's nothing there. It's almost like you're looking at a piece of furniture, which strikes you as weird because every person in here is sort of been very welcoming to you, like
Mr. McEnroe, I do believe there might be an issue. I might have to proceed to be a little lordling bastard. Is that okay? Mr. McEnroe, are you all right?
Sort of a bit vacant at this point.
I'm gonna... Philby! You rat bastard! Hello! How are you?
The plexiglass doors are still closed, so you're just kind of shouting across. A few people look at you, but like the music's still thumping. But like Philby is like very clearly in a standoff now with the people inside the booth.
I'll quietly just reach out and just open the plexiglass door to let in our enthusiastic friend.
Yeah, you won't be able to get past the 3 guys that are stood in front of the door. Philby turns and looks at you, and he's like,
he would recognise who I was. I feel like he's like my granddad's main rival.
This is Ogden. Oh, this is a lovely You were about to go to a private party. You should join us. The last Ogden. I'm gonna get a payday today. Please come with us.
Yeah, you should.
No, our friends.
You should join us.
Everyone, stand up. We're gonna go with these gentlemen here.
Let's follow these gentlemen. Fan gentlemen. Let's go.
I as we leave, I say to the Lord, what's his face? You know, I'm just the hired help, right?
Not for me to decide.
Fair enough.
Please.
Thank you. Let's follow the Lord's men.
So.
What's this about, Philby? Did my last message to your office not go to plan? Did she not do well?
Philby sort of puts one of his like lanky arms around you, and he's like, "Percival, don't worry. You know what? I was so disappointed to hear about your family, but I have a friend here that I think knows exactly where they are. Don't you? Come with us. Come with you. You'll love this." And he's like trying to play it off like he doesn't know. But any of the proper field agents, this guy's fucking lying. Like he's obviously thinks he's a spider with a fly in his web. Like he was not expecting Percival to just show himself. But
No,
now he's
nor
got
were any of us.
And all 3 of the 3 sort of
I look at
men.
Halbjorn like back at him. I'm like, friend. Like
I ignore you like you're like another employee underling.
And they're taking you to sort of this sort of back room, and we see like a waxwork Churchill that's being used as a hat stand. like stood outside of what looks to be like a museum exhibit of Churchill's old office. And when you're like led in there, someone like knocks on the door, and then the door's like open, and there's this really like femme fatale-esque, almost Colombian-looking woman sat behind like a big desk that says Churchill, with like a World War II-esque map. And in the corner of the room, you see like a vat, with like a thing put over it that's clearly been wheeled in.
I tell you what, friend, World War II propaganda would have been a lot better if that was Churchill, don't you think? Look,
Who is this?
Everyone, meet Dominic Harper.
Everyone apart from me.
Nice to meet you.
Just stare calmly.
So when that door gets opened, Leo, if you're looking through, when you see Dominic Harper, she almost glows. Like, from where you can see, she's radiant, essentially. And then
the others are just blank to me.
The three guards are like essentially blank. Regular people have this slight soft glow to you, like just like faintly, and then she glows.
And these three, they're glowing slightly.
All of the regular human beings that you see are faint, like soft. They look appetizing.
I look tasty.
Okay.
Snack.
Like a chicken nugget.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get a feel of what the sensation's like.
Please go.
It's not like it's not
the energy.
It's not yet a hunger, but it's kind of like very obviously you can like feel their life essence. But you don't know what's going on with the radiant lady behind the door.
I don't know if I can still have my wits about me or not.
No, you've if anything heightened.
Okay. If you want to play something out, I'll play something out, but I have something I might try.
I mean, we'll do like a little bit, and then we'll come back to you, if that's okay.
Okay.
So, yeah, he closes the door. This is Dominic Harper. And then Dominic Harper sort of looks at all three of you, and then goes, "You fired on one of my bodies." And she points directly at Halbjorn.
I'd stare at him for a moment. Let's look across.
In fact, I think you threw one of them out of a window. That was weird to see, going out of a window.
Totally never done that before. It could have been anybody I shot or defenestrated.
Oh, you don't remember Milan?
Rome's a dangerous place.
What he said.
You know, being thrown out of a window. Never had that happen to me before. It was really interesting to watch.
I don't know what's going on here. I don't actually know these men.
Oh, Ogden! Excellent. We've got the last cultist. Excellent, excellent news. You can just stay there. Your ancestry. Really great to have another one of you here.
I just want to do some business.
Oh, do you? Well, that's excellent. Another cultist.
I'm sorry?
Oh, Rasputin will be pleased. Rasputin will be pleased. So...
Business. Some business.
I'm pretty
I want
sure
to do
he
some
speaks
business.
English. I don't think you need to keep repeating it.
He's just repeating the word business.
She sort of smiles and looks at you and goes, "You know where you are, right?"
Yes, of course.
Actually, I don't. I came here because
Who is this?
Percival Ogden. Lovely to meet you. How are you?
Very charmed, I'm sure. Who is
Cult
this?
didn't tell you about other members that they were sending in.
I don't know what you're talking about in terms of this occult thing, but I came here because I heard there was a job opportunity now that Baystar was no longer in the picture. So I thought I would make my services available. You may have heard of me, Merlin, at your service.
She looks at you and then smiles and she goes, "You're the jammy fuckers who killed all those hackers, aren't you?" "Oh, I thought I was going to have to spend so much money to find you all."
What are you talking about? I say to her. What do you mean, hackers?
I didn't kill anyone. I just took all his shit.
And a big gun. We don't. I got other people to do that kind of shit.
I'm his security.
I'm looking to do some business. How many times do I have to tell you business?
Great ways of denying it, guys.
She's obviously not taking the story anymore. She
Stamp my hand down on the table. Business. I'm trying to do some business.
You'll have to apologize. I have to apologize for my boss here. His record occasionally gets stuck.
Listen.
You need to just give him a slap upside of the head like this, and it fixes his record.
That you're lucky. Unless a man, I'd get this out. One moment.
He spends the next 30 minutes trying to find the
I take his cheap out for less. Let me tell you something. You don't.
Do you actually take out the multi-tool?
It's just a tool. It's not doing it. Look,
if you take it out, basically what happens is one of those guards that you came in with steps forward and just places like an icy hand on the multi-tool. And doesn't move, but he makes it like very obvious that he is a man of easy and casual violence.
This is not going to. This is my friend. Look. Let me show you something. Yes, this tool, it won't even. Squeeze hard. It's not even going to hurt your finger. Okay?
He takes it off you for a second, puts it on his finger, and then squeezes, and you just see the tip of his finger come off.
See, look, I told you.
And then he's holding the multi-tool, and he just puts it in a pocket, and then steps back.
These men are men of quality. They know what they're doing.
Right, so we will flash very quickly back to Leo. You notice the saturation of everything is sort of bleeding out. So almost back to normal. Very, very slowly.
Okay. But I've noticed everything that I have so now. So the three are the guards that they went with these three.
Mm-hmm.
So no guards guarding that door currently.
There's no one actively guarding that door, no.
Okay. I'm going up to it then to see what I can hear on the other side.
You can hear all this transpiring. You hear like a snip of a multi-tool and then something like hard but not wet, like hitting the ground, and their sort of conversation.
That's disgusting.
Okay, so I'm going to. I assume this is like a nightclub, isn't it? There are people drinking.
This hasn't gone very well.
Yes.
I think we'll drop the
one of them.
No point, is there?
I want to get. I don't know what this is going to do, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to get a bottle off of someone and just lob it at that door, and then just sort of string cover back into the crowd and see what happens.
So what we see is you throw the bottle at the door. Are you spending any points to sort of conceal or cover that?
No, it's a club. Everyone's wankered. Who's watching me?
So you throw a bottle at the door. We wait like a couple beats, and then one of those like ballistic mask guys like opens the door, looks around. Well, you can't see them look around because they've got the ballistic mask, but like very obviously like scans the crowd, and then closes the door.
I'm trying to do some.
If he's scanning the crowd, I'll try and make eye contact with him.
Yeah, when you sort of lock eyes, he locks eyes with you, and then you're both just sort of staring at each other.
It's awfully drafty with that door open, don't you
play
think?
a love theme runs through the audience.
I'm trying to entice him out.
Is that what you're like? Is that what
just
you're thinking of doing?
I'm trying to entice him out.
And in your mind, that's what you're thinking.
Yes.
He sort of seems to stroll out, close the door behind, and just walks stock straight towards you.
Cool. Am I in the middle of the crowd right now?
You are in the middle of a crowd right now.
Presumably with a bunch of people who were like I was a few minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I'll stride up towards him and we'll meet in the crowd.
Yep.
Sorry. I just want to do this because I think it'll be funny. I've still got those two daggers on me, haven't I?
Yep.
I'll take one of them out subtly.
Mm-hmm.
I'll jab him in the bottom of the stomach with it, and then I will push him over into the crowd.
You stab him in the bottom of the stomach.
Fresh blood in the air.
What you're expecting is that, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like almost like a crunch.
Oh Right.
Interesting.
Nothing leaks out, and he's just still staring at you if you're staring at him. As you slowly pull the dagger, you just hear like it's almost like dry leaves.
Does he react to this at all?
If you're staring him in the eyes, no.
Cool. Is the dagger still there? Is it still in my hand?
Yeah, you've still got the dagger in your hand.
Cool. I'll use it to cut down the front of his shirt and see what it looks like.
Okay. So yeah, you start cutting down the front of his shirt, and you basically just see like a mummified sort of torso, like all his ribs are like caved in, and all of his skin's like this like mummified flesh. And you see faintly like a yellow-ish sort of glow pumping around whatever veins he's got left.
I'll put the dagger back. Do you speak, friend?
He just stares at you.
Oh, I didn't think so.
That
You walk over there for me.
he walks over there.
Much obliged.
Yep, are you walking towards the door now?
Yeah.
So I guess you're still shouting out business or whatever, and Dominic's just like waiting for you to finish.
What was their reaction to the person leaving, by the way? Are
Trying
they...
to conduct some business.
Well, Dominic's like kind of confused, but she's more. She basically thinks he's gone to like throw someone out, but she's more distracted by business.
Damn business.
So you can walk in the door now if you would like.
I would like to open the door and walk through.
Trying to
So
sell
you
some
open
yellow
the
goods.
door and walk through. Dominic looks at you, and just you. She's basically like really glowing now. And then you see her like fumble for something under her desk, and she takes out like a black vial out and puts it down, and then says,
Now we're talking. I say business. Good. Now we can talk about business.
"You know what? I'm guessing you're the agents that have been chasing us all around Europe."
What are you talking about?
Maybe.
What? I look across. What?
And it seems you, and she like nods at Leo, you're on the good stuff. You a new user, or you've been doing this for a while?
In Rome, we have stuff crossed everywhere.
So she sort of holds up a finger to
Now is not the time to
Mace. She's like, just looking at Leo. You a new user, or this is a habit for you?
Let's just see. It was an experience.
New user. She pulls out another vial that's got like tape around it, and she tears that off and goes, "Do you know what the French solution is?"
Yeah.
He does not swallow.
Heard.
That is the
Heard
French
of it.
solution.
So in one of these vials, I've got some more of the good stuff. You're going to start fearing withdrawals. When did you take it? About 30 minutes ago?
Roughly.
What the hell is going on? I'm thinking in my head. What's going
Well, you've got two options. Either you're going to have to drink some blood to keep the high, or you're going to take withdrawal real rough if it's your first time. It gets easier. Trust me, it gets easier. But it's nice to breathe it out. You're not one of them. And she sort of, like, gestures vaguely to a wall. She's like, they don't indoctrinate us. Ever. But sometimes they let us take a little bit of the good stuff. I can see that you've taken it. You're glowing. It's a good look for you. Anyway, so one of these is the French solution. Mummifies an entire body in a few minutes. What's happened to our friends, actually, and then some stuff I'm not privy to make them still dance.
Oh.
You there, Mr. Business. Are you a betting
Yes.
man?
Yes, I have. I gamble a little every now and again.
You can drop the act. It's not going over.
I'm gonna... None of you are leaving here alive. They, and she gestures vaguely in the background, they're coming. They're not happy, but they're coming. But
Oh, no one's ever happy to see us.
they're mad at me for allowing you in here at all, so...
Yeah. We have a habit of doing that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I'm thinking about giving you one of these vials, and either
Sure.
you're going to be an agent down, or you're going to be a little bit stronger. Two of you might be able to get out alive. She gestures for one of her guys to come, like one of the clockwork soldiers, hands them both the vials, and just says, mix them up. And I am going to flip a coin.
Is there anything we can do to track it?
He's turned around and he's doing it. She's not even
Clink,
looking
clink,
now.
clink, clink, clink. Done.
The guy puts a vial in front of Mace, and he puts a vial in front of Dominic, and they both sit there. And she gestures at both the vials.
Well, look, the reality is this, I say. You've got us over the short curlies, as they say. So there's no point us trying to pretend we're out of our depth. I pick up one of the vials.
Which one do you pick up?
The one that was near Albion. So just pick that one up. You can have my one.
Before you actually drink these, I take
I'm
my
not
wallet
drinking
out.
it.
I take my wallet out, zip through it, and turn to Percival. I've got £10 that Mace gets the wrong one.
I don't see what the point is, though, because surely they come and kill her anyway. So she's doing this whole bet thing to make us feel a bit scared, but her overlords are pissed off at her. They'll kill her, replace her, and then we all die. So I don't understand. I think the French solution thing is an easy way out. She's scared what they're going to do to her.
Is Percival saying this in front of her?
Yeah.
She shrugs.
She's not drinking it, is she?
No, she's not drinking it.
I'll drink the other one. I'll drink the other one. You see, even if I kill you, I'm going to get punished. I'm not going to die, but it's going to suck. But hey, if I drink this, and she taps it on the table, I can probably rip off 3 of your heads before your friend there takes me out. And obviously, if you drink the French solution, then I only have to worry about him.
2.
And then she looks at Halbjorn and Percival and then goes, well, obviously him first, and points at Halbjorn. And then you. So, I think I can make this out of all of you dead if I can get this down.
Chug, chug, chug.
Yeah, well, ladies first.
And as she's about to go put the vial to her lips, someone bursts the door open and turns the TV on that's sat behind her, and what we see is East End of London. We see like a theatre thing for the Opera Monarch, and then we see like the doors burst open, and this crowd of crazed people, all of their eyes fully glossed over gold, stream out into the streets and just start attacking people. And then we sort of faintly see, Leo will see it a lot, but you guys will faintly see, and Percival will know who this is. A figure that's sort of there, but also sort of not, in very like regal clothes, and a big yellow crown, seems to just be watching from inside the theatre. As basically all these people start tearing each other apart. Dominic looks at the vial, looks at you, looks at the TV, and then goes, puts the vial down. Seems like we're all going to need to get out of the city.
Well,
this was worst case. You didn't give the cult the play, did you?
What play?
And then, the palette of plays you stole. Essentially, we get a brief flashback to the palette of plays you stole. The King and Yellow.
I'll pull out one of the book. I'll pull out the book that I've still got. This thing? Was this what you mean?
Yeah.
So the Yellow King is well, London's fucked.
At this point, I'm going to have a quick leaf through.
Oh my god.
You're having a leaf through.
Yeah.
Okay, James.
I've still got a copy.
Surely I would stop him.
Yeah, you.
Hold on. I've still got a copy. I know nothing about this. I'm gonna have a leaf through it.
Right. So what we'll say how the episode ends before you leaf through that is, she just goes. So the King in Yellow is in London. We're all gonna want to get out of here.
I just before I open it, I say, your security not so good. You know, we borrowed these from a warehouse that was supposed to be secure.
So that's how the episode ends. We basically see like more scenes of the East End just getting torn apart by these. Basically, like they're all dressed up for a night at the theatre, and they're just like tearing people to pieces. As we see basically like a flood of people just streaming out of the theatre, and that is the end of our penultimate episode.
May.
Someone performed The King in Yellow, a play I've been foreshadowing for months.
It's kind of bad news. So it's not good news. Let's put it that way. It's not good news.
So
I don't understand how me and the Yellow Jacks are like linked. I thought we were different. I'm like, oh shit, because I apparently know who this is. Like,
oh, you know it from your occult knowledge, but I'll also send
yeah.
you a little note so you know fully what this is. So that's the end of our penultimate episode. In our last episode, Dominic Harper will probably go take you to see her employer, if you can all escape London, that is. I hope you all enjoyed Knights Black Agents Blood Feud.
Stuffed crust.
The stuffed crust. The episode of many errors.
Stuffed crust.
We will see you next week for our final episode of this season. Where our players will be attempting to escape London and meet, finally, Dominic Harper's employers. So, we'll do our plugs. We'll start, as always, with the easiest one for everyone. James, what you got to plug today?
I am going to plug the Loom, because that's the only place I hide out. Well, the only place I'm going to tell you where I hide out on the internet. We play all sorts of games. There's all sorts of people. Come join us. Have fun.
Cool. We will go next to Sean. Please plug what you've got to plug.
Well, I'd like Pizza Hut. They're doing 2-for-1s at $19.99. So if you're struggling to find a decent pizza, trust me, outside the rope is the best you're going to find.
Just make sure that you confirm what your options are.
Just make sure you've got stuffed crust.
Yeah, make sure. Don't order the wrong
Yes, she is. Get her in here. Get your wife in here.
That's what I did tonight. I ordered the wrong stuff. And look what happened.
Jordan, you got anything you want to plug today?
Oh, I guess so. Yeah, I'll guess same as James. It's where the place that we all hang out and we play games. It's where I started getting into a lot of gaming. It's this, guys. It's the Loom Discord server, obviously. It's set up by Addison, outrun by him and Ben. Really good place to come and hang out and meet new people and try out new things.
Excellent. And finally, Addison, our guest star.
The Pod of Many Things is making a return. However, until we're officially put back in, we're plugged back in, I'm going to take the time to promote the Loom. So it's become a real community there. We're weaving stories together and having a good time, trying out all the D&D, all the different systems with Sean, our resident DM of everything not D&D, apart from Dark Sun, and Ben, our advocate for everything that's not D&D. But no, it's a really good time, and hopefully we'll have these guys on the Pod of Many Things at some point.
You will indeed.
Different things. So
I'm down to ruin another episode of your podcast.
Oh fucking hell! That was one of the best ones. Though. Like, people loved that episode because it was just chaos.
Oh, utter chaos! Right, so I guess I'm gonna plug the final episode of this. It's weird that this is your first episode. If this is your first episode, so maybe go back and watch those over on the Flickering Torch over on YouTube. You can catch us next week 7:30 for the final episode of Knights Black Agents Blood Feud. Then we're going to be taking a week hiatus, and then we're going to be back with our Blades in the Dark game run by Jordan. That's Blades in the Dark Red Herrings. That's the subtitle. I think that's the first time I've announced that, so that's cool. And yeah, join us then. Watch some of my videos, subscribe, do all the socials, and we will see you next time. Say goodbye, everyone.
Take care.
Goodbye,
See you
everyone.
later, guys.
I knew someone would do the goodbye, everyone thing.
Oh yes, you know it was going to come from.